make them even better.
Alrighty, and welcome back to Vex Worlds 2021. I am joined with Hunter Terry. He's the coordinator between the RECF and the SCORE at Auburn University. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So some of y'all may have heard of SCORE. We have tons and tons of teams that we work with every year. But SCORE actually stands for the Southeastern Center of Robotics Education. We're an office at Auburn University that started back in 2017. I've been lucky enough to work with them from the start, both as a student employee and now as a full-time employee.
But yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think you and me were talking about, I believe, like Mission 100, was it?
Yeah, so Mission 100 was actually our introduction to Vex Robotics. So all the way back in, I think it was 2017 to 2018, we sort of did a pilot year, and then the 2018-2019 season, we actually sort of kicked off with Mission 100. So we set the goal and said, okay, Mission 100, we're going to start 100 new Vex IQ robotics teams in the state of Alabama. Sure enough, it was a huge success. We had tons of awesome, incredible teachers and administrators that bought in the program. What we did was partnered with the REC Foundation to provide schools with the Vex IQ robotics components, all the kits they needed. We gave them fields and game elements for the season, and we also provided them with free professional development.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It did not cost the schools a single dime. So that was really awesome, and a lot of that was support from the REC Foundation. But anyway, so we kicked that off, spent the whole summer training teachers, and we actually ended up starting 149 teams that first year. It was a huge success, and we immediately saw Vex Robotics start exploding in Alabama. For a couple years there, we were actually one of the fastest growing states, not just in the country, but also in the world, if you consider regions as other states.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so yeah, and then after that, we even, the next year, we said, hey, that worked really well. Let's set our goals even higher, and we said, let's do Mission 200. So for Mission 200, we did the same thing. We said, all right, let's start 200 teams, but we're going to expand a little bit because we started running out of schools that didn't have Vex IQ teams.
What a problem to have.
Yeah, so we expanded into Tennessee and Georgia and a couple teams even as far up as Virginia. But that year was also a huge success. We did the same thing. We spent all summer delivering kits, training teachers, and preparing administrators for what it was going to look like. And we started around 220 teams, I think. I can't remember the exact number. But that was for the 2019-2020 season. Again, of course, it was a huge success. We saw an explosion, and that continued to sustain, the growth, not just in Alabama, but we saw a lot in Tennessee as well. And so right now, down in the Southeast, we've started to have a really thriving just ecosystem of Vex IQ teams. And we are so excited to see what happens when these young students grow up and join the VRC program, even go into VexU, and go on to be engineers and all sorts of STEM jobs someday. We're going to have an awesome...
It's going to be an absolute explosion, especially when they get into VRC. We're going to have a huge group of kids that are already experts. It's going to be very cool to see.
Yeah, I am so excited to see it.
That's awesome. Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Hunter. I appreciate taking the time for this interview.
Yeah, thanks, Jacob.
Of course. Awesome. We will be back soon with more robotics content. Thank you very much.